This webinar is going to show you how to use Microsoft Forms to easily create surveys, quizzes and polls. So the outline is as follows. We're going to show you how to access Microsoft Forms, the different types of forms, branching in forms, creating a basic form, question types, creating a self-correcting quiz, sharing a form, customizing a form, math features in forms, viewing and sharing the information you collected, enhancing your form, general housekeeping, creating a poll in Microsoft Teams, collaborating on a form, downloading results, and viewing individual responses. So what exactly is Forms used for? Well, it easily creates online forms, surveys and quizzes, and you can view the results in real time. In this webinar, we'll take a close look at all the features and benefits of this Office 365 tool. It's easy to use, but it's powerful enough to be used for a variety of administration purposes. Those of you that attended my webinar, I used Forms to create a registration form. So how do you sign into Microsoft Forms? Well, the first thing you do is you go onto the internet and you go to the website office.com and you sign in with your LWETB email address and password, which I'll show you now. So we type in office.com and press enter, and then put in your email address, put in your password, and you're in. There you see Forms. So first off, this will come up to prompt you to create a new form. I normally close that, and then this gives me my home screen, which I have the forms I've created. If there's any forms that's shared with me, I don't have any at the minute, or any group forms that I was working on other people with. Okay, so normally you'll be just concerned with my forms. You can see there, you can tell the number of responses for a form and whether it's still active. You can see that one has expired. I set a date on it. I'll be showing you how to do that in a little while. So why do you need forms in your life? So again, as I said, polls, quizzes, surveys. But you can invite others to respond using almost any web browser on any mobile device. You can see the real-time results as soon as they're submitted. You can use the built-in analytics to evaluate the responses. So all your forms are collated into a spreadsheet, and then you can make any changes you want to those, or sort them any way you want. And it's really useful, and it's also got built-in features. If you do a quiz, that it can automatically grade for you as well and give feedback. Okay, so first thing you have to decide, do you want a form or do you want a quiz? So the way I'll say it to you is, if you want it to auto-correct itself, if you want to be able to use a maths feature, use quiz. Other than that, a form will do fine for what you want. It's very similar to create both. So let's take a look at question types. These are the basic question types: choice, text, rating and date. There are some others, I'll be talking about them in a few minutes. So we're just going to create a very simple form here. So if we just go to new form, and I'm going to call it practice form, and I'll just say all about cars. Okay, so add new, and the first one we'll do is do you like cars? So straight away there you can see it's automatically decided the answer could possibly be yes, no or maybe, so I'm going to add the whole lot of those. So that's my first question created. I then have options. Is it required? Should they answer it? And then I can allow the option for multiple answers if more than one answer was correct. Okay. So next one then, I'm just going to do a text one. So what car do you drive? Okay, and you can decide whether that's a long answer or a short answer. And again, I'm going to say that's required, and it's not a long answer question, but if it was, I'd just click long answer. So then for the third type of question, I'm going to do a rating. And I'm going to put in, this time I'm going to get very fancy. I could just type a question there, but I'm going to put in a picture. So if I just go to image and I'll search for Mitsubishi GTO. So that's a car. So there we go. We can just click on it and add. So you can add pictures into your quizzes. It shouldn't take this long to load the picture, but anyway, I'll continue on. So then you can just have the choice there, and I'm going to say rate this car. Okay, and then we can come down here and we can pick whether we want star or number. You can pick the number of levels up to 10. We just leave it at 5 and we leave it at star. But if we go in here to the more options, I'm going to add a label to it. And one is going to be, I wouldn't drive it. And the other, I'm going to say, I would love it. Okay. So if we go on then to the next question, and this time we're going to add a date. So you can just see there, as I added the new question, you can see it begins, I wouldn't drive is 1 star and I would love it. It just adds a bit of criteria around the form to make it clearer for people. So I'm going to put in, what is your date of birth? Just as an example, and then it tells you the date and the format to use for that. Okay, you can always check in here for any other options that it'll give you. So now that I've added those basic questions into my form, I'm actually going to call it cars instead. Okay, I can also decide if I want in here to add a picture of the car, just to brighten up my form a little bit. Okay. As you can see, it doesn't come the size of the other car in the question, but it still adds to the form. We can also add a theme while we're in here. So a theme could be just a different color background. You could use anything. When you go into quizzes, there's some slightly different ones as well that you can use, or you could add your own picture by just clicking the plus there. Okay, so now we want to see what it looks like. So let's have a look and see what we've made. So if we go to preview, you can see there you have your immersive reader button, and what that does is if you press that, it'll read the questions. So, and you can see here GDPR notice. Hi Tracy, when you submit this form, the owner will be able to see your email address, your name and email address. So that happens automatically. You can turn it off if you want to, but you probably will need to know which student submitted it to you. So there you go, you can see what it looks like. Okay, so that's just a very simple quiz there. And when the learners finish it, they just go to submit. And you can also see what, so that's what it looks like on a computer, but you can also see what it looks like on a mobile by clicking mobile. And you can see it's still very clear, very easy to read. Okay, so that's just useful. So we're going to go back to forms normally then. I want to show you some other features. But these are the other types of questions available to you. I'm not going to go through how to create them. I won't have time, but I will show you where to find them and give you examples of them. So the ranking, you rank items in a preferred order. The Likert scale is a how to rate something, usually in 5 points. And file upload, I'll go through with you. It allows learners to upload files, and a net promoter score allows you to see how likely somebody is to recommend something. So here's an example of a ranking question: staycations. Please put the following in order of importance, and you use the arrows to move up and down. So you have location, comfort, service and value, and as you use the arrows, they'll move into a different order. Then there's an example of a Likert scale. How would you rate each presentation category? So there you go: slide, design, speaker. You can put anything, any headings you want in there, and you have the rating 1 to 5. So the upload is what I'm going to show you now. So what this is, this offers the option for learners to upload files that you ask them to submit to you, and you will get them along. So it could be a picture, video, or Microsoft Word file. So I'll show you how to do that now, because it may be useful to you. So I'm going back into my cars one, and I'm going to add a new question. And just to show you, the drop down arrow at the end are all those other questions I was talking to you about. Okay, they're in there. So I want to show you the file upload. So we just click, and it tells you they're going to create a folder on OneDrive for you so that they'll be stored there. So that's okay, we agree to that. So I'm just going to say, please upload a picture of your favorite car. Okay, so I just want one file. The size, you can give them, if it's a video, you might give them more room to upload, but the picture, it should be fine at 10 megabyte. Okay, and then I have another option there. I can say the file type I want. So you have Word, Excel, PowerPoint, PDF, and image. I'm happy to take a PDF or an image. You can leave it blank, and it'll let them upload any file type that they want. Okay, so that's that question created. So what you can see then is it gives an upload file option. So we'll just preview that and see what it looks like for the student. You see, when they click upload file, it brings them to their folder on their device, and they can pick the file. So I'll just show you then where that goes for you to see the results. So this is just a form that I had created. So we look at the responses. So there's one response, and you can see it tells you there that that's the file that was submitted. Okay, you can also open it in Microsoft Excel, and that shows you a full Excel file. And if you had 1,000 people filling in this form, the 1,000 results would be in there. And then it also shows you the link to where the picture is uploaded that your learner uploaded. However, personally, the way I go into the uploads is I go to more details, and the list of the file name is in there, and when I click on it, it opens it up for me. So obviously that's not a car, but I was just doing practice for you. So let's just go back to my cars one, and I'm going to add another question, and this time it's be a choice, but this time I'm going to add video in. So I just go to choice and I go to video, and you can either paste from YouTube or Microsoft Stream. So after you've found the web address of the video you want to use, you just copy it, and then you right click and paste it in here, and there it goes. So again, let's see what the student or the person you want to look at it sees. So we just go to preview, and there it is there, and they just press play and they play the video. Okay. So what you might want to say on the top of your question is watch this video. Give me one piece of information you found out. Okay. question, the first question in, do you like cars? So I'm going to add a branching option into that, and what it means is I'm going to make the form into 2 strands. So if people answer yes, it'll go in one direction. If people answer no, it'll be another question. So what I do is I click the more details and I go add branching. So if they answer question yes, go on to question 2. And if they answer no, I'm going to say end the form. And if they answer maybe, I let them go on to question 2 as well. Okay. So I'm just going to show you how that works in action. So if we preview the quiz, and if I say no, I don't like cars, it says thanks, and they don't get any further. I could have put loads of other questions in there that would have brought them on a different journey, but I just chose to let them finish the form. They weren't suitable, they weren't the people I wanted filling in my form. So I'm just going to quickly show you how to make a quiz. So we'll add a new question and we'll just say solve for X. Okay, and we'll go in here and into the 3 dots and we'll go math, and I'm going to say 3 plus X equals 10. So I'm no maths teacher here now, but you can see it brings up the automatic answers, and I'll take all those choices. I'm happy with that. Okay, and this is the slight different options with the quiz. So you have an option for feedback. So we'll just say well done, and then you could give some feedback on the wrong answers, like try again. You could do that for each of the answers. And you can also award points, so I'm going to award 25 points for that. And just click back into the question at any time if you want to make a change to it, and I'm going to say that's a required question. Now I'm going to add new, and you see here it's given me 3 more of those questions, so I'll add all those. I'm happy for somebody to build the quiz for me, and sure, look, we'll go again. I'll add another one. This time I'll say solve for Y. So we'll say 4 plus Y equals 15. We go to OK. There's the answer. Yes, I agree with them. It is 11. That's it. Another 25 points for that. Okay, so I'm gone over now on my quiz. Okay, so I'll actually delete one of my questions out because I only want it to be marked out of 100. Okay, so let's preview this quiz. So there you go. If we press the wrong answer, so I just pick random answers. Submit them, and you can view our results. So there it tells you the correct one. Okay. So that's it there. You can see it collected the response. So there you go. It'll do that for every single form that you have. So just to let you know, the math feature, the points awarded, and the feedback are only available in quizzes. So the maths, the points, and the feedback are only in quizzes. If you want those, you need to be making a quiz. The final thing I'm going to show you here is sections. So the reason that you might use sections is each of those questions would appear then on a new page. So you could divide it into sections. Like one might be about their personal details, the other might be their opinion. You can divide it into different categories depending on the topic that you're talking about. And it is really literacy friendly not to have too many questions on the same page. Actually, I have one more thing to show you. You need to know how to share your form. So we'll do that now, and then quizzes. You could send it by email or you could go into your Microsoft Teams. So let's do that. So I'll go into my EdTech demo. If I go to plus for adding apps, I can pick form. We'll pick an existing form and we'll use the car one and we'll save, and then it appears as a car. It appears up at the top as its own tab, and there you go. That's it. So I hope you liked the tutorial and found it useful.